Oh.
All right, Sam, you're live.
Hey.
Go, Steve!
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Teammates. Good morning, everybody. We've got Sam Bakula and Scott Poley on the mics today.
Sam.
Okay.
It's on red. The battery.
No, 93%.
No,
What is that?
Oh,
For some reason that says like that, but it's going to gradually go up. See, it
Got
was
like
at
a
19.
chip or
You're
something?
good, guys.
cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't introduce yourselves.
Everybody, this is Scott Poley,
And Sam Bakula.
and we're getting ready to announce a very important game. We are introducing a new franchise.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that both of these teams, the first game that they're going to play is as a new franchise against each other.
Yeah. So we have the Marlins. Sam, why don't you, since you have a family tie in the Marlins.
So the Marlins are a team of full rookies other than one player, and they're new in the league, they're a younger generation. We think they're going to bring a lot of energy. Introducing them, we've got Eli Erickson, married into the Light family. Apparently he's been talking all types of trash.
Wow.
Wow, which when you come into the Light family, you don't do. You know? And then with the rest of the team routing out, all these guys are Parkway South guys. We've got Sam Rudnick, Trent Davis, and Fat J Baby. This team could be electric.
It could also be terrible.
You know what baseball players that can't play end up doing?
What?
Commentating.
Well, we're both still in the league, so not really relevant, but
Kinda.
thanks for the
Are you
comment.
kind of?
Last but not least, we have Luke Bakula.
Who is providing the banter, going back and forth with his older bro.
Would you say that he's a veteran in this league now?
I would say, how many years? 10? Then
I
yeah.
missed a couple.
Did you play last year?
Yeah.
Did you play the year before?
No, I don't think so.
So the only time, as of recent, that Luke hasn't played is when he was playing baseball for the University of Kansas
Which,
in 2018.
here's what I have to say about that. This league has a lot of roots in Parkway South baseball, and we've had a lot of real good baseball players set foot on this diamond. Hasn't really translated like people would think.
It is a different game, Sam. I would agree with you.
Can you name one player from Parkway South that was an exceptional player that has translated into an MVP caliber candidate to this field? I can't.
I would say you're right. You know, we have some up and comers. You know, I mean, I would say you were a solid Parkway South baseball player.
Right. But
If you use the
I'm
word
talking about guys that were
all states,
studs,
Yeah.
went on to play college ball, like Luke, Scott Summerfeld, Taylor Howell.
even you could throw. I hate saying it to throw my old brother on the bus, but it's taken him a few years since playing college
I
baseball.
wasn't even thinking about him
Yeah.
because he was a pitcher in college,
Yeah.
but he raked in high school.
He did. And I would say that it's taken him about 4 years to kind of get back to adjusting. And I would say, you know, to give him a little, you know, he's my brother, to show him a little bit of love. You know, he had a pretty devastating injury that he had to kind of rehab and learn a lot. So that's the Marlins. Who you see out on the field today in some gray tanks, they're kind of mismatched. And the reason why is because it's two teams, formerly the Royals and formerly the A's, have combined due to, you know, we're playing Labor Day instead of Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And they've combined to make one team. So who you have on the team, looks like who's starting pitching is Sam Skibby. You know him, you love him. He's the commissioner of the league, no introductions. In right field, we have Gus Skibby. Again, you know him, you love him. You know, interesting thing about Gus is I played Hometown Cup, which is a slow pitch national tournament in Indiana. And unfortunately, we loved it. If anybody from Hometown Cup ever ends up watching this, we loved it. It was a great tournament. But what happened is similar to our field where the grass meets the dirt. Can you text Kevin? I know the game started. I don't have my phone.
I got him.
What happened is similar to the grass meets the dirt. Gus swung, tripped over the grass, and then landed and hyperextended his left elbow.
That was how
That is how it happened. He was hitting Oppo, and it was right after. It was this huge divot. The field was just not in good condition.
Yeah.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have Eli Erickson up to bat. He needs to start swinging it like he means it. There you go. Good solid first
is
shot.
out there to center.
Gus Skibby. So the reason why you
Dominant
see him
play.
have that brace on his elbow is because he fell hyperextended his left elbow and actually couldn't swing anymore throughout the league, to the tournament. So it was an unfortunate end to our great experience up there.
I'd like to know what this team is thinking and why Luke Bacula didn't lead off.
That's actually a really solid question. I appreciate it. Maybe he's trying to be
Nothing
humble.
against the rest of the rooks, but you got to start the guy that knows how to hit the pitching,
That's true. I love how humble he was, but sometimes you just gotta be the first one up at the plate, get the most at bats.
Maybe you're too humble.
I think his head is stuck into the baseball world, and he thinks that he needs to hit third, which is highly inaccurate in terms of building an SWBL lineup.
I would agree with Sam.
Usually the guy that gets on base is going to go first.
Oh, Sam with an interesting. So as they're kind of shaking off this last at bat,
comes.
rounding out the left field is Paul Castellano, 3-time or 4-time champion, SWBL. It's kind of floated to teams since the Rays disbanded.
You know what? I'm just going to say that I'm high on the Braves this year. I'm telling everybody this. I think that the Braves are going to win it all.
Wow.
There's not a lot of pressure on them, and I don't know
true.
why. They've got 2 skibbies. They've got a multiple championship winner in Paul Castellano and a great left fielder. They've got Steve Hayes, who's had a good bat the last couple of seasons here in the SWBL. I heard he didn't have the best summer, but that's okay. It's hot. It's a different game.
I would what Sam's referring to, if you.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we just got hit by some type of insect that I've never seen.
There was a summer league. SWBL did a summer league. Since we couldn't play Memorial Day, as Luke Bacula takes a monster swing.
A mighty hack.
And Steve Hayes was a part of one of the teams there. I can't remember. Down the line.
Another mighty hack, and he hustles.
Good from the left fielder. Paul
Questionably, he looked like he was going really hard. A lot of people don't run that fast because of injuries.
It's true. You've had some, not injuries, but close calls sprinting to first.
I know, and maybe I need to leave a little more on the field then if I can beat those out. But as an older-ish member of the league, middle generation.
How many years? How many years has it been?
13, I think.
You're almost
12 maybe?
You're up there with like I would say you're top 5 in most years played.
What?
Yep. Because remember there was a stretch where a lot of these old guys weren't.
Yeah, I think this is my 12th year, guys.
Yeah.
So I also haven't missed a season. Seriously? Since I was indoctrinated into the league.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man. You can't miss it. Okay, we got Fat J Baby on the mound.
Looks like he's throwing straight balls. So expect some high offensive power from the Braves here.
He's got some good cleats to hopefully keep him sturdy out there. Oh yeah, we need to talk to Kevin. He's wearing Vans. That's a recipe
won't.
for a disaster.
I know. I tried talking to him. He won't do it.
He won't sacrifice the style.
I guess not.
Kevin
Once you go to
Poley,
California,
he's wearing black Vans.
Explain the buckets.
I'm back.
Most likely bucket is
As seen on the feet of everybody in California.
center. Paul, I almost hit center like 3 or 4 times. Actually, I haven't had that many home runs.
How many do you have?
I have 2.
Me too. But
I got
also-
one robbed. Corey McCarthy robbed me of a home. Oh, and Brian Kennedy, but no one's counting the maybe. Which one?
I think if you get that, you should get paid $100 by everyone in the league.
So one of the things that they're referring to, because there's no possible way that you can see this if you're watching, is there are silver, almost like drink buckets hanging from trees in the outfield. And if you hit one of those in a home run, then you split a pot. It's kind of like a 50-50 raffle, but it keeps on going. So the first person to hit it takes 50% of the pot. Second person does it takes 50% of what's left over. And it keeps on going
Is
down.
that sponsored by Breck X?
It is.
I
But-
knew it was.
But they're only providing the tins. The teams that want to participate, I think it's $5.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Are
So
we participating?
we haven't participated. Do you want to?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it's time we focus on the game at hand here.
So one of the things I'm noticing is the Fat J Baby is pitching egregiously slow.
Which is a good approach for certain players in the league. I don't know if it is for Gus, because Gus is one of the most patient hitters we've ever seen come through this league. He can hit it right, he can hit it left, he can hit it out the middle.
He's already a hard out. We'll see how his elbow holds up. Well, based off that swing, he's
pitch
gonna.
had some good movement on it.
Looks like Gus's elbow is gonna be just fine. You know, as a friend, talking to him for the past few months, I feel like he was nursing it a little bit now after seeing the swing. So I'm glad he's back.
I think we might have a full count here.
Oh, he is right there.
All right, now Sam.
Now we've got the elder Skibby, looking lean and mean.
You know,
Wants to hit a
today's
home run.
an
Hungry.
important day for Sam, as his son,
Ooh.
McGuire, turned 1 today.
What? Happy birthday, McGuire?
Yep. In 20, let's see, what year would that be? 20. Today's
2040.
2040. When you're watching this, McGuire.
It'll be his 21st birthday, and he will be out there chugging beers on the mound with the Expos.
Happy 21st birthday in the future, McGuire.
Wait, but we know we don't play on Labor Day though, so maybe not.
Oh, that's true. Oh, you're right.
We'll bring everybody in for the 21st.
All right. Looks like 2 strikes on Sam.
You know what? Now that you say that, I kind of think that this season was meant to be for the Braves. It's Sam's son's birthday.
Man, you're right.
I'm telling you that this team is going to shock some people.
You know, they get to start out with a pretty, I hate to say it, but a pretty easy first game. Get their swings in. Sam Skibby just a 2-run
Oh
shot
my
over
gosh.
left center.
Put your money on 10 home runs for this guy today, for his son, McGuire, named
So-
after Mark.
He's going to have a nice ease. The Braves are going to have a nice ease into their play this weekend, which some of the teams haven't had fortunate to do that.
I don't know. I don't think the Marlins are going to be as maybe this first game because they're just going to be getting their swings in.
Mm-hmm. I would expect this game to last 4 innings. If you don't know, for all you faithful watchers out there that have never seen a wiffle ball game before, if you don't know, our league only goes 5 innings. There's 2 outs. The batter gets 8 balls and 3 strikes.
Whifflers watching.
Probably not. Here's Gus Skibby. Looks like his elbow is doing just fine. I'll probably say that 50 more times until it starts hurting.
My first swing hurt.
So
And his
we've
first
got,
swing hurt.
honestly, the Braves are generally a pretty banged up team.
Yeah.
We've got Steve with the knee problems. Paul is healthy, but you don't want to throw a ball at his head because everyone in the league will fight you if you do that. And then you've got Gus's elbow. Does Sam have an injury history at all?
Yes. It's called hamstring.
Oh, yeah, okay, so.
Oh, let's see how they field here.
Good hit, Paul.
And you can definitely tell there's some nerves out there. You know, not sure where they should stand, not sure of how hard they should run on the hill.
This is where they need to lean on Luke a little bit to coach him up.
I would agree.
He knows. He's been in the league. I think he's played 8 seasons, something like that.
Yeah.
Luke, how many seasons have you played?
I don't know. I fixed like 3 maybe.
Well, oh,
What?
he said he missed 3. So he gave us the opposite answer, which we're looking for.
I think he started in 2010, maybe 2009.
Mm.
At which time he was sort of a Bryce Harper figure. He was the youngest guy in the league. He was a top prospect.
He was.
And he played with me and Gus and had a great season. So
Mm.
ever since then, he's been solid, but I don't think he's turned into the superstar caliber player that people were expecting.
You know, he did have that year a couple years ago before he decided to really commit to baseball, where he was a force to be reckoned with on the A's. I mean,
Oh,
he really
yeah.
was the cornerstone for the Shock the World movement. As Gus Skibby, no injury to be concerned about. He hits a home run over left field, and wow,
going on? I
Andy
like that shirt.
Oldenburg makes an
The
appearance.
return.
Return is
Man, wow.
This WBL legend has just stepped onto the field. Andy Oldenburg, 15
Former-
plus seasons.
Former Rookie of the Year. I think he played a solid, Andy, how many years total have you played?
Man, 7 or 8 maybe?
7 or 8?
But I have not been here in 5 years.
Has
Oh,
not been here
wow.
5
I
years.
can't believe it's been that long. Hasn't been here in 5 years, but at one point he was a force to be reckoned with. He had a nice bat and he could hit it far.
Mm.
We'll see how that translates 5 years later.
Sam pops up. You know, Sam actually, I don't know if you can see it on our screen, but in the left field there's a tree And historically, people who hit fly balls just like Sam hit flies out. But what Sam did recently is he had it trimmed. That could have just cost him an
Yeah, it did.
cost his own self.
He cost himself an AB there. That's
So-
what you get for trying to help the league. And you know what? I think you could argue that's probably why the Royals haven't won a. What up? I'm
up,
rooting for
Sam?
the Marlins.
Coming up to bat,
I'll
ladies
root
and
for the
gentlemen,
Marlins every time they play.
your eyes are not going to deceive you here. This is clearly the tallest player ever to grace the batter's box. I don't even know how you pitch to someone like this.
Well, the top of the strike zone is
Meat.
meat for him, and for a lot of players, that spot's impossible to hit. But at the same time, look where that strike zone comes at his leg. It's halfway down his knee.
It is
Ooh, good little chop.
Let it get deep.
got a little short
You let
swing
it get
there.
deep. See that?
Why is your hat so tall, Luke?
Why are you the biggest a-hole I've ever met? It's like the weirdest hat.
That thing matches your shirt perfectly.
I know.
Ooh, we see a strikeout here.
Michaels, I think.
You
Love
know,
Michaels.
I'm not sure what the strikeout record is, but if the Marlins don't get it together, there may be a record here per game.
That was the first one. Oh my god.
Scott has been ripping on the
Dude,
Marlins.
I hate the Yankees so much.
I've done nothing but compliment.
That's true. I will change my tone. One of the things that's impressive about the Marlins is they're at least taking the leap. Oh!
Hey!
Get out!
Oh!
What? I hope we got that. I hope we got that.
Can we get a description of what just
Do you want to
happened?
do it? You want me to do it?
There was a fly ball. Paul almost got it.
Oh! You know, I like what I'm seeing from the Marlins now.
Me too. I told you they're gritty, they're energized, they're here to ball.
Yankees could get no hit all weekend, and I would probably actually be happy.
You know what would be
You know what?
funny if in
Your
real
tune was
life-
different when you did captain interviews.
It'd be so funny if in real life there was commentators and then one of the players just chimed in and started talking shit to him. Heard what you said in the first inning about me.
And we see a big strikeout there from Sam.
That was a really pretty nice pitch. I mean, that started at his eyes and came down to his knees.
Here's what I'll say about not the Cardinals,
The Braves.
the Braves.
They don't have any swagger.
They
Besides Steve Bates has a hat that he picked up at Lids today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 3-0.
They all coordinated and they said gray tanks, and you know what, if you can swing a hat, go ahead, but if not, it's cool. Paul Castellano turns on an inside pitch and he rips it, but I'll tell you what, Paul's got some of the fastest hands in the league, I've always thought.
I would agree. And you know, he is not in this kind of era, but he is the home run king at the very beginning of the franchise era. You know, here's a funny story about Paul with the franchise era. You know, Paul before the franchise era was kind of he was a solid second player,
Yeah.
but maybe not your first player. And so we go into the franchise assignments, how we're going to do the first draft.
Yep.
And Paul very strategically said, I'm the worst player here. So I need the best.
That was so
I need the
strategic.
best second and third player.
And you know what?
And he got it.
He won 3 championships because of it.
And what we know is even if you have talent, you still have to come out and you still got to perform. And to Paul's credit, as the captain of the Rays, he not only shocked everybody and did just bombed home runs left and right, but they won 3 championships in a row.
We were talking about that team earlier, and that's a bit of a legendary team. Come here. That was in a time before pitchers poison, and they were the only team in the league that could turn a 3-1 out.
Ooh, this deep fly ball. Ooh, great play from the Rook.
Nice catch by Sam Rudnick. Well, what?
This would have been a home run.
Oh.
Steve Hayes up the bat with, you'll see on his left knee, he's got a knee brace. Funny thing, last season I had to do some arm rehab on my left arm. In the day of wiffle ball, opening day last year, I walk into the rehab place and I see Steve Hayes laying down on the rehab table, getting that
That's
left
one of
knee
my
rehab.
favorite stories of all time.
So shout out to, actually you're not a sponsor yet, so maybe next year if you're a sponsor, Advanced Training and Rehab, we'll give you a shout out.
Advanced Training and Rehab could be a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, we're seeing some good stuff out of the Marlins so far.
I would agree. It's 4-0, top. I think they're home, so I think it's bottom.
Here comes Luke, who arguably should be the leader of this team, although we haven't seen any of that yet.
Sam Skibby will pound the zone.
He usually has the least walks per batter in the league.
If you don't come up ready to swing, you're going to strike out.
Yeah. And he's got a plethora of pitches as well. How many pitches does this guy have? 5?
I would say he has. I would
Ladies
say.
and gentlemen, we don't have the beep function working, so if there's any kids in attendance, make sure you muffin their ears when Luke Back goes up.
We know it's a Saturday morning, and the only thing you thought about last night is waking up early with your kids. Turning on
wiffle ball.
Turn on the SWBL live stream. As we see,
I need to block that last game out of my mind. I'm just sitting here thinking about it.
yeah, the Yankees have had a rough start to this season.
But we should have. I mean, we could have won last game.
Yeah.
And we were in the first game. You're supposed to be kind of you start talking about it. I feel good now, though, honestly. I feel like I can see the ball.
That's good. We need you. Oh, that's
mama.
what he can do. That is what he can do. Oh, little dribbler.
Go! Go!
Big strides. Big strides.
The Marlins are definitely a team of capable athletes. I think it's gonna take a couple games for them to figure it out. I think they're gonna upset some people.
I'd agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, not to hurt your eyes, but you can see the expo is over to the right here. That's what they've called Shantytown. And you know, it's grown legend over the years, but in reality, how it grew legend, I'll just be frank and honest, they just left trash where they used to sit.
Yeah.
They left trash.
Those trees look like Christmas trees.
They
because
did.
They used the beer cans as ornaments.
They did, and now it's SWBL lore and legend. We love them, and we wish them the best of luck this year. As Gus takes a liner.
I mean, I would argue that there's only 3 players in the league that can do that. Gus.
4, baby.
Who's the 4th? Oh, here we go.
So clear.
I wasn't going to include Sam Skibby in that count, but now I might.
Oh, back to back.
Just as I said, he's a pull hitter. He's a pull hitter. Gus is a push hitter. Gus, Corey McCarthy. Who else? You hit it up the middle.
I hit up the
Who else
middle.
can rip it down the line for a home run?
I only do that when Will Rath is pitching.
Yeah, but that's
it.
a good adjustment. I wish I could. It's just so difficult in this game.
It's just real good to see that Gus can come back and have an injury, and it looks like it's not going to affect him one bit. Looks like Fat J Baby is picking up the speed a little bit on his pitches.
I think we're gonna let him until
That's true.
the Braves call him out for it.
Which they probably won't. You know what? I will say though, they might, because they have 2 A's on the roster. And if
Yeah.
you remember a couple years ago, they did that to us, the
They
Yankees.
did it to everyone.
Yep.
The A's were a gritty team. They had a chip on their shoulder. Did they knock us out of the playoffs one year? I believe
No,
they did.
they took our spot in the playoffs.
Yeah. And they
What'd
made
you
it to the
think?
finals. And I said I was going to tattoo a lightning bolt on my butt cheek if they won.
You did, and they almost won. They
And they
actually
almost
probably should have won.
They almost won, and I would have done it, and I would have worn it proudly.
Oh, Paul is just missing the ball. He's right there. Luke Bacula.
That was not a graceful catch. If that would have been an egg, it would have cracked.
I would agree with that. Steve Hayes up to bat. Steve Hayes was co-captain of the A's. And Sam, I would venture to say that with this
Yeah, Steve.
huge rip from Steve Hayes.
Steve rips a home run into left field. He's
What I-
feeling good,
what I
as
was-
I predicted. Steve, you're on my fantasy team. I forgot to tell you. Good job. There is fantasy wiffle ball, people. We bet on these games.
Can I touch this or am I not allowed?
I feel like next year we can do like, if we made the bookie like really, I feel like that could be really fun. If we-
Fantasy.
No, like betting on games.
Oh yeah, I agree.
If
I
we like
agree.
set up a bookie stand or something,
You know who would be really good at that?
Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris would steal all everyone's money.
He would. But I think he would be the best person to do that. So Chris, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are,
I'm sure you're listening to this as you are doing jump squats in some
CrossFit
warehouse
gym.
somewhere.
Oh, Sam hits a high fly ball. Luke back. Makes a more graceful catch.
That was pretty nicely done. Almost stumbled backwards, but he caught it nicely in a little basket, little Easter egg basket.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we're doing a little pitching change, or I won't do it actually. Looks like they're gonna go right there. Eli Ayerson, is he technically the captain?
I believe he was the captain, and then Luke came and he was made co-captain.
Okay. You know, I think he's wearing his Parkway South cleats. They're red, white, and blue. And I think Eli was QB1.
Eli was QB1. I heard about that from Luke, who was K1.
Ooh, good fight-off pitch from
Which
Sam.
sounded, I meant nothing by that.
So
But Eli,
scores.
along with some of these other guys, is a historical Parkway South athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But wiffle ball is, you gotta meet the minimum threshold of athleticism, I think.
I would agree with you in the SWBL
Yeah.
circle, but
there's a bar, and if you're below it, you're gonna suck. But
warning track power. That probably will adjust to home run power later on in
yeah,
the
I
day.
think so.
I would say that I would agree with your statement, but when you go to some of these national tournaments, you see some guys that go, you haven't exercised since the day you were
Yeah.
born. And these guys rake and they throw
rake.
hard and they're good. But in the SWBL format, I would say you have to have athleticism. The field, the
Yeah.
slope, you know, I would say you got to be somewhat athletic to be here.
I agree, and I think that you got to have a level of hand-eye coordination to be able to hit the ball.
Totally. Ooh, he is right on it. We congratulate Paul also. His son also recently turned
Oh,
one.
baby.
He turned one not too long ago.
We need to get a baby pen out here and just get all the babies in there.
I like that idea.
A baby pen, yeah, like maybe out there.
Just put him in a closed space. And leave him.
Yeah, during a pandemic.
You're gonna be a great dad, Sam.
Paul grounds out
Let's
to
just
Luke
stick
Bacula.
all the babies in an enclosed space and let them hang out. Let them get to know each other a little bit.
I would agree. I think that'd be a good idea.
Who do you think is running the show there? I'd
Babies.
I'd say maybe Pete if he was here because of how big he is.
Pete would command the room.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's got his dad's intelligence/subtle cockiness.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Way to keep it going.
Gosh, dang, Steve.
Oh.
Or maybe the Skibby kids would team up and run it.
I would agree. I would say they're a little young right now. They need to be paired, and with
Or how old are we gonna? What's the cap? 2? I think it has to be 2.
yeah, 2. You can't be
You
more
can't be
than
like
2.
a 6-year-old running around.
That's just embarrassing.
You're too old. You should be on the field by that age.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would say 2 and below. I would say you got to be at least 1 though. At least you're
9
crawling.
months. 9 months.
9 months. At least you're crawling. Sam Skibby up. Holy
Oh my
crap.
God! Look at that beard.
The most caveman of them
What's
all.
up, guys? Oh, I just saw you sitting up here. Everyone come say hi.
We're
Excited
calling
to
the
be here.
game. Hop on in
Are you
and
on right now?
Yep.
yeah.
I am. I'm doing this later with Pete.
Nice.
Let's.
I gotta save all my.
Be surprised how much you can see on that thing.
Really?
Yeah, we could see.
What about here? Can they hear what we're saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, I hear everything you're saying.
You know, I'm concerned about in the top left corner. It says,
I don't know what that is, but it looks like there's a battery here,
and then on the left
and
side,
that's a chip.
maybe because
memory.
it's live.
I think it
it's
means
not
that there's
using the
no
chip.
memory.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Like it means that the memory's out.
Oh, Sam Skibby. I think he's still looking for his first home run. No, he had a home run earlier today.